Wars The Rise of Skywalker was directed by J.J. Abrams, and it features an ensemble cast including Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley and John Boyega. In this final installment of the Star Wars franchise, we get to see the Resistance take on the First Order in one final battle. The Star Wars franchise has had its ups and downs since The Force Awakens was released. Force Awakens, Rogue One, world-class films. Loved them, and I love what they brought to the franchise. But then again, there have been some bum notes with Solo and The Last Jedi, which I really wasn't too hot on. The Rise of Skywalker was the swan song for this franchise, and when I heard that J.J. Abrams was going to be coming back to direct, I thought, okay, he's going to do for this what he did for The Force Awakens. Having seen The Rise of Skywalker, I can say that it's not a great film and it's not a bad film either. And it certainly, after 42 years, was somewhat of a downer in terms of how you're going to conclude with this franchise. My main problem with this film was the fact that the script and the film itself was lazy. There was no originality in the film whatsoever. This film just felt like a rehash of previous Star Wars films. So the writers they got everything from the previous Star Wars films to some of the new things that they've done, added it together, and then they put it for us to watch. But when you watch it, you do get a sense of deja vu. Like, okay, I've seen this before, and this is exactly where I can see it from. This felt to me like a rehash of Return of the Jedi for me. And I remember feeling the same way when I saw Terminator Dark Fate. Terminator Dark Fate, I looked at it and I thought, okay, you brought back Linda Hamilton, but as a film, there's nothing original. And the action sequences and the death scenes reminiscent of Terminator Rise of the Machines, and some of the car chases were reminiscent of Terminator 2. Even the dreadful mess that was Transformers 5 The Last Night. When I saw that film in the cinema, I saw at least 4 to 5 different Michael Bay films where they picked up action sequences from and put them together. And the same could be said for Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker does have some good things going for it. I thought the performances of Adam Driver and John Boyega, who I thought was a little underused in this film, were great. You do get a sense of childhood nostalgia when you see some of the old school characters return back to the film. Billy D. Williams reprising his role as Lando Calrissian, the impossibly cool Billy D. Williams, was on top form in this film. To see him reprise his role, I know that I started cheering, as did some of the other people in the cinema as well. And it was so good to see him back in that role. Even Dennis Lawson, who played Wedge in episodes 4, 5 and 6 of Star Wars, to see him reprise his role as a starfighter in that film, I thought it was good. Also, the nods to some of the previous Star Wars films, to see some of the set pieces from that film. Cloud City, which we had seen in Empire Strikes Back, which was Lando's base. Endor, which was in Return of the Jedi. To see these mentioned and to just see these sets and see some of the Ewoks as well, made for a really, really nice treat. There are some good action set pieces as well, in particular when we see the Resistance being chased by the Imperial Stormtroopers, and then to learn that the Imperial Stormtroopers can actually fly. That added a really, really good dynamic to the action sequence there. And there are some good comedic moments in this film. But for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, I can say that the bad outweighs the good. The main problem with this film is that the plot is all over the place. There is no concise plot. It just zigzags from one element to the next, and you kind of lose track about what's going on, and more importantly than that, you become disinterested with the film. The previous Star Wars films, Rogue One, Force Awakens, even episodes 4, 5 and 6, there was a clear plot and you understood what was going on. But here it takes some time to get invested in the film. There are some unnecessary elements in Rise of Skywalker. There was a sub-storyline involving an undercover agent, which I thought could have just been taken out completely. And also the space battles. Again, 42 years after the first one, if you're going to end this franchise, you need to go out with a bang. And I felt that the final space battle was lackluster. Star Wars set the bar for space battles. Star Wars A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, even looking at other Star Wars films, Rogue One, The Force Awakens, even look at some of the prequels just to see how exhilarating they were and how on the edge of your seat excitement that it brought you. I didn't see that with this film. I felt it to be quite lazy, a bit lackluster. The final space battle for me was a bit disappointing. And considering how Star Wars has had an influence on other space adventure films, i.e. Guardians of the Galaxy and so forth, to see how they've constructed their space battles, this one should have done it better. Again, you're ending the franchise, you need to go out on a high. Fans and critics, they know what to expect, and it didn't deliver in the final segment of the film. And I know hardcore Star Wars fans, there are going to be some people that love it, but there's going to be some that hate it. And I know that a lot of them are going to criticize the narrative of this film. And another thing that I saw in the cinema that I couldn't believe when I saw it in Rise of Skywalker, there was a lesbian kiss in the film at the finale sequence. And I don't know why they decided to put it in there, but they did. And I'm thinking, well, you know what? Can we really criticize that? Bearing in mind that in Empire Strikes Back, Luke and Leia passionately share a kiss. And then in Return of the Jedi, he actually discovers that it's actually Leia is actually his sister. And they didn't go to counselling or nothing. And even the ending was a bit predictable and a bit lackluster. And again, it felt like you were watching a rehash of Return of the Jedi. And I felt that this film wasn't the finale that it could have been, or more importantly, that it should have been. There was a better film in there, and I think that they missed it, which is a shame. Just based on the nostalgia of bringing back some of the old school characters and some good set pieces here and there, I'll give this film 5 out of 10. So, that's my review. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit the alarm bell so you can get notification from me when my videos have been uploaded. Leave your comment in the section with regards to what is your favourite Star Wars film, and I shall see you on the next film review. And have a Merry Christmas.